Okay, so we were this question. Let's continue with the same here. So when it compressed here, and we need to calculate heat from here. So first, can we calculate what will be the pressure at this point P dash after adiabatic compression? And which kind of gas? Monatomic gas. So I can calculate final pressure by P1 V1 into raised to power gamma will be equal to P2 V2 raised to power gamma. So let me write this expression. So for C to B, for C to B to C process, adiabatic. So adiabatic compression, I will use the condition P1 V1 raised to power gamma will be equal to P2 V2 raised to power gamma. So at this point B, this is corresponding to B value. Pressure is P by 8. Volume is 8V. And what is value of gamma here? It is a monatomic gas. Monatomic gas gamma is 5 by 3. Will be equal to P at C, and volume at C is equal to V raised to power 5 by 3. So what is pressure at C is equal to? Pressure at C is equal to 1 by 8 into 8 raised to power 5 by 3, which is equal to 2 raised to power 5 by 8, which is equal to 4P. Okay, so pressure, I get this pressure is equal to 4P. So sometimes the question will also come, if we compress it to original volume, what will the pressure here? The pressure is 4P. So we arrived at the pressure also. Now we need to calculate, and this work done is W here. Now can you write this expression for W here? So how do I write this value of W? This is work done. And when we carry our process C to A, what will be dq? How would I calculate delta Q for CA process? What is the amount of heat CA process? What is the how do you calculate delta Q? For whenever we have to calculate delta Q, if the process is constant volume process or constant pressure process, we can use the formula. What kind of, this is constant volume process. So delta Q will be equal to, I can use NCV delta T. So basically to calculate NCV delta T, what are two things I need? I need the final temperature minus the initial temperature. That will be equal to TA minus TC. Now, can you calculate the temperature also? If at this point, if the temperature is T naught, what will the temperature at this point here? This temperature also is T naught, and I'm substituting T naught is equal to what? T naught is equal to PV by NR. So here also temperature will be T naught. So can you tell what will be the temperature at point C if the temperature is T naught here? This product of this temperature is T naught. So product of PV is equal to PV by NR. Here temperature T at C will be equal to pressure at C into volume at C divided by NR. And what is TC equal to here then? Pressure is 4P, volume is V by NR. This will be equal to 4 T naught. So I get this temperature also at this point, whatever temperature, this temperature is 4 T naught. Okay. Now can I relate? No, if I have to from here to here, what will be dq? dq will be equal to N into, what is Cv here? Is monatomic gas. Monatomic gas is equal to Cv is equal to 3R by 2. Final temperature Ta is T naught and inlet temperature is 4 T naught. So it will come equal to, basically N into 3R by 2. And this will be equal to minus 3 naught. And T naught also can be, I can again write as in terms of PV divided by NR. This is the amount of heat given, which will be negative. But I need to express in W term. So can I write W term also in terms of pressure and volume? How would I calculate this W here? What kind of process? This is adiabatic process. Adiabatic process, what is W here? How would I calculate W now? Work done. In adiabatic process, how would I calculate W? Adiabatic process, delta Q is equal to 0. That's adiabatic process. Hence, work done plus delta U is equal to 0. So work done will be equal to minus delta U. And what is delta U equal to? That will be equal to negative of and CV. Delta U is final temperature minus initial temperature. Final temperature is 40 naught. Initial temperature is minus T naught. You find both values are equal. So here also heat given will be equal to negative value of work done. So this is what the whole question is. I hope you people have followed. Bhageshri?
Yes, sir.
Just check your temperature, positive, negative,
Yes, sir.
and see what happens if you're learning something. Your head temperature should go up. If temperature is going down, it means what happened? Whatever you knew also is going out. So you need to be careful. So are you following so far? Have you understood this question completely, Bhageshri?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Understood. Good. Okay. So we'll move further. End of compression and all. Let's look at this question, a pretty lengthy question. This also past main question, as I mentioned earlier. Till 14, 15, 16, some of the question used to be a little more difficult. I think many more questions were at par with advanced question at that time. So let's understand what this question is. An ideal Montgomery gas is confined in a cylinder by a spring-loaded piston. So, and the figure was given. So this is a cylinder here. There's a piston is connected to spring, and cross-section area is given. So area of piston A is given. Initially, the gas is 300 K. So initial temperature Ti also is given 300 K. And initial volume also is given. It is occupies a volume of whatever. This is basically, I'll not write the volume. Volume also is given. And initially, the spring is in its relaxed state. If it is in a relaxed state, what is the significance of the fact that it's in the relaxed state? What can we conclude from the fact that spring is in a relaxed state? If it is a relaxed state and the whole thing is kept in the atmosphere, the gas pressure has to be equal to atmospheric pressure. Unless we put extra weight on the piston or unless we apply extra force on the piston, the outside pressure, inner pressure will be 0 if the piston is free to move. So initial pressure also is equal to P naught. Okay. And gas is heated by small heater until piston moves out slowly by 0.1 meter. So from here, after heating, it moves out by a distance of 0.1 meter. And it moves by 0.1 meter, the spring also will get compressed by 0.1 meter. So basically implied, whatever displacement it has, the spring also gets compressed by 0.1 meter. Force constant of the spring is given as 8,000. It means when it gets displaced by 0.1 meter, the spring starts applying a force equal to 800 Newton. So in final state, the spring is applying a force equal to 800 Newton. This is what is given in the question. Atmospheric pressure is given. So that P naught value is given 10 to the power 5. And the piston and the cylinder and piston are thermally insulated. So it is kept in a insulated chamber. No heat is getting transferred. So no heat transfer is taking place. Okay. What we need to calculate? We need to calculate when piston up. We need to calculate final temperature of the gas. Initial temperature is given. We need to calculate the final temperature. What is the final temperature? Heating is happening, spring is there. And prima facie, the question looks really complicated. But if you think of it, actually this question is extremely simple. See, what is things which are given? Why is it simple? So every time we did, first thing you need to think of, ideal gas equation is always valid. Okay, so ideal gas equation valid, well, basically in this case, so P1 V1 by T1 has to be equal to P2 V2 by T2 because it's in gas number of moles are not changing. Initial pressure is given, atmospheric pressure. Initial volume is given. Initial temperature is given. Is the final pressure given here? Is the final pressure given? Final pressure is given indirectly. So what is the final pressure P2? Because spring is applying a force of 800 Newton. So it means final pressure here is equal to atmospheric pressure plus 800 Newton, whatever force is acting, divided by area. So indirectly, if I since area is given, I can find out final pressure also is given. Is final volume given? Yes, final volume also is given. All I need to do bind is T2. So just application of ideal gas equation is enough to find the value of temperature here. So rest all is substitution. So every question we can look at, first thing we look at ideal gas application, and if ideal gas equation is not sufficient, then use the condition and try something else. Because amount of heat transferred is not given, we could not have used any other condition, right? One equation is adequate for pressure volume, all other things are given. Right, now let's move on to something, again, it's a more cyclic process. What is the process given here? Density is given. Density versus temperature graph is given. And two curve, and what else is given here is a thermodynamic heat engine. So heat engine, it's a cyclic process. And two curves are adiabatic. So these two curves are given, they are adiabatic process. That's what is given. These two are adiabatic. What is work done for 1 mole of monatomic gas in one cycle? So we need to find in whole cycle what is the work done. So before we start solving the question, suppose let's say this question was first draw a PV diagram for this figure. Before we draw PV diagram also, so first part, let's try and draw a PV diagram. So, and this kind of questions are also common. Any two variables are given and other combination of variables we can draw. So draw PV diagram. What would the PV graph or PV indicator graph will look like? To draw PV diagram, two of them are adiabatic. So adiabatic, I know what the shape of adiabatic curve in PV diagram is. Other two processes B to C and D to A. Can we identify what those processes are? So from the graph, what I notice for B2C process, the density is constant. And density is mass by volume. If density is constant, its volume is constant. So B2C is a constant volume. And other case also C to D to A also is constant volume. So these are the four processes. And B to C, what is happening? Constant volume, temperature is increasing. Here temperature is falling. So let's see first part here. If I have to draw a PV diagram from some starting point, this point temperature is T naught. Let's say this is initial point. I start from P naught, V naught. How do I draw? So let's say this is my starting point. And the starting point is PV. So how do I draw the diagram here? A to B, adiabatic process. But adiabatic, is it compression or is it expansion or compression? How do I figure out expansion or compression? What I notice here, density is increasing. If density is increasing, volume must decrease here. So A to B is adiabatic compression. So if I have to draw a curve here, A to B is adiabatic compression. So if I draw a shape from A adiabatic curve, maybe something like this. So A to B is something I draw a shape something like this. So A to B is adiabatic compression. So what will happen? Volume will decrease, hence the density will increase. And in case of adiabatic compression, if I draw this adiabatic curve, my isothermal curve would have been something lower like this. So what will happen to temperature when I have adiabatic compression? Adiabatic compression, adiabatic curve below goes above isothermal curve. Hence temperature will rise, and which matches here. Initial temperature is T naught. Temperature has increased here. Right. So this is A, B. How do I draw B to C? B to C is constant volume and temperature is increasing. So B to C is constant volume. If temperature has to drop, it will come below. If temperature has to rise, it will go above. So that's the shape of BC curve. BC will be like this. This is okay. Again, pressure is increasing. Here, so this is again temperature is rising. It is going above isothermal curve. How about C to D? C to D, we already know it is adiabatic curve. So C to D, again, I draw an adiabatic curve. C to D, again, an adiabatic curve. And in this case, adiabatic curve, what is happening? Is it compression or expansion? In this case, clearly we notice it's an expansion. Because here, density is decreasing, volume must increase, C to D curve. And then it becomes D to A. So if I have done two parts here, first part, if I have to draw a corresponding PV diagram will be like this. But in this case, I need to calculate work done for 1 mole of monatomic gas here. To calculate work done, Work done is basically work may be done in 4 different steps. There are 4 different steps, but I easily notice among the 4 steps, 2 steps volume is constant. So this process no work is done, and this part also is no work done. I need to calculate work done only for A to B step, and I need to calculate work done for C to D step. What is A to D step? Adiabatic curve. So to calculate work done, so now I'm coming to second part. Work done for cycle. For work done for entire cyclic process, actually only 2 steps. I'll calculate for work done for BC and work done for, as well as work done for D to A, both are 0. So I'll calculate other work done for AB. What is work done for AB? Adiabatic process. Adiabatic process work done is equal to change in negative or change of internal energy. And what is change in internal energy? Change in internal energy NCV, final temperature minus initial temperature. Let's put those values. PV diagram is taken, work done 1 mole of gas. So gas N is equal to 1. And CV, it is a, which kind of gas is it? It is a work done a monatomic gas, 3R/2. And temperature of those two things are given. So this will become equal to 0.5 T naught. Thus work done for AB, negative. And what will be similar way? We can calculate work done for CD also minus delta U. Net of this is the net work done for the process. We can easily calculate. Yes, Vignesh.
Well, even in this case, we can use like the net heat supplied, right? If you want for the
Yes,
BC
we
and
can do
AD
that.
process.
Actually, each process, if I ask you among the 4 process, can you tell me which process, how is delta T, all steps? Can you easily tell delta T for all steps?
Yes.
Right, so this is given here. So this is OG. Delta Q also you can easily tell what is delta Q in this each step. What is delta Q? See, other way I could have calculated this one way. What you are saying there, other way of calculating, I will not calculate net work done. I'll calculate net delta Q. To calculate net delta Q, I know delta Q for these 2 steps are 0. Net delta Q heat transfer is happening only from B to C and D to A. So another way of solving, and in this case also is constant volume process. If volume value was given, I would have calculated delta Q more easily. What is delta Q in this process? Can you calculate delta Q from B to C? What is Q value
Yes,
from
so
B
it's
to C?
NCV delta T.
Well, it's basically which process it is constant volume process. So that is one way of calculating work done. I could have calculated delta Q also, and delta Q also only 2 steps, only for this step and this step. The other 2 delta Q 0, they are adiabatic process. I calculate QBC and I calculate QDA, which also is very similar. It will come same way. So you can solve that profession also. Okay. Now let's look at this question also, but somewhat similar. So this also is a cyclic process. A, B, C, A. This is A to B, B to C, and C to A. This is cyclic process. 3 steps here. Performed a sample of 2 moles of ideal gas, and a total of 1,200 heat is withdrawn. So this, what does this value indicate? What are we can infer from here? What it says for whole cycle, delta Q heat is withdrawn is negative. Delta Q for whole cycle is equal to minus 1,200 joules. So this much heat is taken away. So what will happen in terms of work done also? Since for cyclic process work done is equal to delta Q, it means this also is negative. Basically what it is mean, work is done on the gas. When, how do we do work? If you think of a compressor of AC or a refrigerator, we do work on the gas by compressing it. So basically compression does work. So here, for any gas, wherever compressor works, compressor does work on the gas, and that work gets converted into heat rejection. So this is a reverse of heat engine. Find the work done during the BC process. This is what is given here. We need to find the work done by gas during process BC. But even before, suppose every question I try to visualize whenever TB is given, anything other than PV is given, can we convert into PV graph here? So can we identify what is the process AB here? If this is a straight line, If it is passing through origin, then only I can say T by V is equal to a constant. So what process is A to B is T by V is a constant, and T by V, if it is a constant, and this constant when it is passing through the center, passing through origin, it is a constant pressure process. So T by V constant, this is a constant pressure process. And volume is expanding. So if I have to draw figure here, it is something like this. A to B, I could have drawn something like this. And in this process, what will happen? Of course, the temperature also has to increase. So here also is going up. So this is A to B process. And B to C process is not given. And what is C to A process? C to A process is constant volume process. And it comes back to A. And okay. So this is what, and temperature goes further up. So something like this. So there's some process C to A, and then it finally comes to constant volume C to A. So this is some kind of process it is. Now we need to find work done by gas during part BC. And what that process is also not given. The process also is not given. We need to find work done for process B to C. So can you think of what are the ways I can calculate work done by process BC? Process also is not given. There are a number of ways of solving. So can someone think of what way I can calculate work done from process BC, even when it is not given? So I need to calculate indirectly. How do I calculate work done? Work done is 1200 and work is done, no work is done from process C to A. So minus 2000, 1200 is also I can write as work done from A to B process plus work done B to C. So if I can find work done from A to B, since this is known, I can find out work done from B to C. That's one way of solving. What is the other way we can solve here? Any other way you can think of? So can we calculate work done from A to B? What is work done from A to B? Can we calculate what is work done from A to B? Can anyone think of what is work done from A to B? So if I can calculate work done from AB, work done from BC can be calculated. What is work done from A to B? Is this information, and if enough information is there to calculate work done from A to B?
NR delta T.
NR delta T. Why NR delta T? Is that correct?
Pressure is constant.
Huh?
Pressure is constant, right, sir?
So pressure is constant. So pressure is constant means what?
P delta V, which is NR delta.
Yes, P delta V. So we can calculate, we can solve this question also. Okay. That's a key issues. Now, okay, I think you have read. Let me look at, so we have talked about cyclic process, and one special type of cyclic process is called Carnot engine. Carnot engine has two isothermal curves and two adiabatic process. And it works in a clockwise sense to function as a heat engine. So what is the sense of processes? Clockwise process heat engine. And in this, there are two adiabatic curves, two isothermal. Can we easily identify which is adiabatic and which is isothermal? The one which are steeper at the same point, so at this point of intersection. And if I compare these two curves are intersecting here, this is flatter, this is steeper. It means this one is isothermal and this one is adiabatic. Similarly, the other one also, red is adiabatic and this is isothermal, and it has four steps. A to B is basically isothermal expansion, followed by adiabatic expansion, followed by isothermal compression, and followed by adiabatic compression. So these are the steps involved here. Now, each of the four steps, can we write out which out of these two steps will not have any heat transfer? No heat transfer will take place here. No heat transfer will take place here because they are adiabatic processes. In this case, the expansion is happening. So what is the work done here? Here actually it will receive heat. dQ is positive. Why is dQ positive here? Because this curve is above adiabatic curve. So here gas will receive heat. Let me call heat received is Q1. And here the gas will reject heat because this curve is going from starting this point. From this point, if I start C to D process, this is adiabatic process. This is going below adiabatic curve. Hence, the heat will be taken away, negative value. So two things are happening here. Gas is receiving heat and here the gas is throwing away heat, and typically it goes as a waste here. So you have to calculate work done. Rather than calculating work done will be equal to net heat transfer. Work done is equal to Q1 minus Q2. The Q2 is negative. I am substituting with sign. Work done is Q1 and Q2 are magnitude. This is positive. This is negative. That will be work done. Work done will be equal to Q1 minus Q2. Okay. Sorry. Other thing what is important to understand from here. So there are 4 different volumes. What are 4 different volumes here? I can write 4 volumes are VA, and these are 4 volumes here: VA, VD, VB, and VC. Okay, these are 4 volumes here, and these 4 volumes ratios are related. And let's see what this relationship is: VB and VC. See, in this case, this whole curve is at a particular temperature. Let me call this temperature as T1, which is a higher temperature, and this temperature is T2, which is at a lower temperature. So between B and C, temperature ratio is same as temperature ratio between A and D. So are we clear? TB by TC is equal to TA by TD, which is equal to T1 by T2. So when we talk about VC by VB will be equal to VD by VA. Why are these ratios of volume equal? Because in adiabatic process, volume is proportional to change in temperature ratio. Since the temperature ratio for both adiabatic process are same, beginning and end temperature ratio is same, volume ratio also will be same. So VC by VB will be equal to VD by VA, which also means VA by VB or VB by VA. From this equation, VB by VA will be equal to VC by VD. So in this case here, whatever volume ratio here is same as the volume ratio here. Okay. So this is one important property, and once we understand it, this is very simple. Now this is, I hope you understand, this ratio is equal to this ratio because of this process, and whichever process you follow, and Carnot engine, this is condition here, ratio volume of 2 isothermal processes are equal. And in case of isothermal process, what is delta Q equal to? What is delta Q in isothermal process? Isothermal process, delta Q is equal to work done. And work done equal to, if I am calculating Q1 here, Q1 work done is equal to nRT log of final volume divided by initial volume. That's work done here. And that's the delta Q here. So when I'm calculating Q1, Q1 will be equal to nR T1 log value of VB by VA. Similarly, if I calculate Q2 I would have written as nRT2 log of final volume VD by VC. VD is smaller, I could write as minus nRT2 log to this VC by VD. What you notice here, if I take ratio of Q1 and Q2, this log terms will cancel out. Ratio volumes are same. So basically I can say Q1 is proportional to T1 and Q2 is proportional to T2. Well, the rest of them, because volume ratios are same. So to understand Carnot engine, I will understand here Q1 is proportional to temperature and Q1 Q2 ratio is T1 by T2. So basically Q1 by Q2 is equal to T1 by T2. So Q1 is proportional to T1 and Q2 is proportional to T2. So when I calculate efficiency of the engine, what is the efficiency here? Efficiency is equal to work done by input. What is the input here? When I calculate work done is equal to net heat supplied, Q1 minus Q2. But what is input here? We'll take only the input part. We don't subtract the waste here. Now this is Q2 is waste. That's the efficiency of engine. And in place of Q1, I can substitute K into T1. So T1 minus T2 by T1 becomes efficiency because of this factor here, the ratios of volumes are same. So efficiency of engine is higher temperature minus lower temperature divided by higher temperature. You could have also written as, so fairly simple. There's nothing to memorize here. This is efficiency of engine here. And okay, sorry, I think I wrote at the wrong place here. So, okay. And we depict Carnot engine, something like this. This is heat source at a higher temperature. We call it T1, or you can also call it higher temperature. And this acts as a source, which is at a higher temperature. And this is called a sink, where heat is thrown away, wasted. This is T2, and this we can call as T at a lower temperature also. And this is your heat engine. So essentially what engine does here, when it interacts with the source, it draws heat Q1 here. So I can draw this how the heat flows into the gas here, and this here heat flows into the sink here Q2. So this shows how the heat flow takes place from source to medium of the heat engine, and then from medium of the heat engine to sink wasted. And difference of the two goes in form of work done. So this is work done, which is equal to Q1 minus Q2. This is how I can represent a Carnot engine. Efficiency and all we have discussed. Okay, other combination also comes. What happens when Carnot engine are operated in succession? What does succession mean? So let's say this temperature is T1 and this is sink for the first engine. So this is my first Carnot engine E1. So it receives heat from source here, and it dumps this waste heat into the sink, and it produces work W1. W1 is equal to Q1 minus Q2. When we operate in succession, whatever heat is dumped here, so the sink for the first engine becomes the source for the second engine. For E2, what is the source? T2 is the higher temperature and T3 is the lower temperature. So this also, and it draws some heat from here. It draws same amount of Q2 heat here, and Q3 is wasted here. So we can define suction in two different ways, and this also does some work. And this W2 will be equal to Q2 minus Q3. Right. So heat rejected from first is the heat input for the next, or we can see the sink for the first is the source for the next. So this is how it operates in succession. The heat sink in the first is the heat source for the second, and the TH and TL. So basically, add whatever. Now, typically two kind of conditions are common. What should be the relationship between T1, T2, T3 if two engines have to have equal efficiency? Condition for equal efficiency. I can easily write for condition for equal efficiency. How would I write condition for equal efficiency? Let me write efficiency of the first one. Efficiency of the first one, if I don't anything, formula, basically work done divided by efficiency of first one is W1 by Q1. And what is W1 proportional to? W1 proportional to T1 minus T2 divided by T1. That's the efficiency of first one. Similarly, what is the efficiency of second one? Efficiency of second one will be higher temperature minus lower temperature T2 minus T3 divided by T2. If efficiencies are equal, I equate those two. We equate those two and we can find if eta 1 is equal to eta 2. So equate, it becomes a cross multiply, basically, okay, T1 minus T2 by T1 has to be equal to T2 minus T3 by T2. So T1 T2 minus T2 square is equal to T1 T2 minus T2. Okay, basically maybe okay, or maybe I just I could have written something like 1 minus T2 by T1. One other we can write is 1 minus T2 by 1, and this is 1 minus T3 by T2. So basically, even easier, I can write T2 by T1 is equal to T3 by T2. In that case, what has to be middle temperature? Much easier to remember. Middle temperature is equal to T1 T2. So whatever, if we maintain this temperature, which is geometric mean of the two temperatures here, two will have equal efficiency. This is a condition of equal efficiency. The temperature of intermediate temperature has to be equal to geometric mean of the two. Second condition is operating succession, but condition is work done are equal. So again, if I write here, if this is T1 and this is T2 and this is T3, the work done has to be equal. So basically, this is Q1 and this is Q2, and this is work done will be equal to Q1 minus Q2. And again, this will be equal to Q2. and this will be equal to Q3. Well, both the same thing. And work done will be equal to, work done here will be equal to Q2 minus Q3. So for work done to be equal, Q1 minus Q2 has to be equal to Q2 minus Q3, or Q2 has to be equal to Q1 plus Q3 by 2. And what is Q proportional to? Q is proportional to basically all K times T2. So this one becomes equal to T2 is equal to, so Q1 plus Q3. T2 becomes T1 plus T3 by 2. I'm just using Q is proportional to temperature. So everywhere K term will cancel out. So when would work done be equal? When the temperature of intermediate temperature is equal to arithmetical mean. So that's the condition for work done be equal. Okay, so I'll just stop here and just maybe 10 minutes.